presentation will include the opening of the Smart City streams and a presentation entitled Smart City as a Service, the New Paradigm in Smart Cities by Ghazi Atallah, CEO of NeXgen.
Smart City as a Service, the new paradigm, as the introduction was said. I think we all heard earlier this morning about the complexity of smart cities, the benefits, but also the complexity of smart cities. Governments across the region, across the world, stakeholders across the region, across the world are struggling with the fact that smart city is an important aspect. It's an important thing for them to do. But the complexity of delivering smart city services, the smart city infrastructure, and so on, is actually overtaking the ability for them to deliver. So what we want to do, and this is what we talk about smart city as a service, is reduce complexity, make it easy as possible for governments and districts and real estate developers and stakeholders across the region and the world to launch smart city services. So the idea for us is to deliver that on a plate and say smart city as a service to you so that you can in turn actually launch it to your providers. I don't know why this is moving. Can you just, please don't put it on the timer. So just to introduce NeXgen quickly, we're known as the smart city experts. We've been in the business for 10 years. We started off as consulting and master planning smart cities. We now actually extended our ability, our capabilities into managed services for smart cities, which is the focus of this presentation now. We've got regional offices. We're basically born and bred in the UAE, but we've now coverage across the region. We're very proud of the fact that we are a regional company, but we are competing against the global brands, and we are now actually competing against them quite well. We have a strategic reach with our partnership with Zain Group, so we actually are able now to take the expertise and services into Zain's footprint across the region. And then we've got experience in terms of knowledge of the industry and knowledge of the region. Our customers, this keeps moving, our customers are Smart Dubai, Riyadh Development Authority. So some of the household names in terms of smart city leaders, if you want, or lighthouse projects in the region are our customers. So we worked extensively with the government of Dubai and Smart Dubai, Dr. Aisha and team, in terms of master planning the transformation of the city of Dubai. This is us, as well as Riyadh Development Authority, which is now, we are in the middle of actually establishing the master plan for the transformation of the city of Riyadh into a smart city over the next several years. We do that across the region. Can you please stop the timer on the slides? I keep pressing back, they press forward, they press back, press. Well, this is very nice. Yeah, thank you. Oh, is it on my presentation? So I apologize for that. I didn't put the timer. Thank you. So let me continue while they do that. So we basically are known as smart city experts, as I mentioned, smart city master planning and the region. Let's get into the topic at hand. We've heard a lot today about smart city. What is the definition of a smart city? The simplest factor of the definition is using ICT to improve the city's resource utilization, to improve quality of life, and to improve the sustainability of the city. That's the simplest definition of a smart city. Technology that allows you to improve on resource efficiency, that allows you to improve on quality of life and the sustainability of the city. Lots of detail behind that, but that's probably one of the simplest definitions of a smart city. Now, everybody knows this. You know the dimensions, the 6 dimensions of the city. So a smart city is allocated, organized in 6 dimensions, economy, living, etc., so that we know how to actually impact each of the elements and each of the dimensions of the city. What I'd like to focus on is this little round thing in the middle called ICT. So the round thing in the middle called ICT is actually what we call the 7th dimension. It is the core. It's what enables the transformation across the various segments of the city, the dimensions. And what makes up this ICT core is, as we all know now, connectivity, access, broadband infrastructure, sensing and actuation, otherwise known as IoT, data analytics, data orchestration, smart services and applications, and then the ability to monitor centrally what is going on in the city so that you can actually take this knowledge, take this data, and deliver service from it. So that's very important. And why is that important? Because this is what enables the unlocking of the value within a smart city. So the idea of creating this smart city infrastructure, smart city platform, allows you to reduce complexity, allows you to take the city, which is typically a set of silos. So you have, within a city, you have various entities. You have municipality, police, telecom. You have various entities within the city, and they all have their own systems, their own data, and their own services. And they operate in silos. And that's just the way that cities have been organized for a long time. In the smart city domain, those cities cannot operate, those entities cannot operate in silos. They have to actually integrate and interact so that you can unlock the value of the transformation to a smart city. And that is the benefit of the smart city platform and the ICT infrastructure across the city. So actually being able to interconnect, integrate, that allows you to unlock the value and allows you to actually multiply the factor of transformation, as in speed. Now, why the smart city as a service paradigm? Lots of things in there, but to make it simple, we're talking about features on the left-hand side and benefits on the right-hand side. So if you stay with me for a minute, the first feature is smart city platform. When we talk about smart city platform, what we want to achieve is decreasing complexity and improving time to market. We actually would like to add another word, which is time to service. Governments across the region are challenged by serving their stakeholders, their constituents. So the shorter you can take that cycle and make it improve the time they can get to a service to their stakeholders, the better off they are. And the only way you can do that is to decrease the complexity of rolling out smart city and smart city services. The fact that we have a smart city, a very strong smart city ecosystem, and this is a good idea that we have here. We have many technology companies that exist. It's a very rich but fragmented ecosystem. So there's lots of companies actually providing smart city solutions, but there are very few companies, if none, actually can provide a smart city solution as a whole from a technology standpoint. So the idea of integrating an end-to-end enabling choice through integration allows you to get best-in-class options for the city, but in an integrated architectural fashion, so that actually lowers complexity. In addition, when you talk about public-private partnership, as a service provider going to cities and talking to them, you can, of course, create a public-private partnership model, various types of models, so that allows us to be able to lower costs as well for governments. Finally, and most importantly probably, data, and the data that allows you to provide real-time insight enables you to have an outcome-based service. What is an outcome-based service? It's a service that allows you to achieve something. There's an outcome at the end of the service versus the traditional service that is process-oriented. I need to do 1, 2, and 3, but what is the outcome? So because of the ability to do the above and because of the data and the real-time insight, you can actually now start talking about outcome. I want to reduce energy. That's an outcome. That's not a process. Okay, you need to connect this, you need to do. So those are the types of outcome that we can start talking to cities and governments and stakeholders and districts about. So when you extend this to districts, you extend this capability to districts or real estate developments, then you talk about the benefits being CapEx savings, proactive management, operational efficiency, as well as innovation in terms of new services, in terms of incremental revenue, in terms of brand differentiation for the real estate developers or the districts, as we call them. So the idea, what are the components of this? Just to kind of take you through it quickly, it's taking this ICT infrastructure, putting it into a managed service platform, and deliver smart services as a service. And we're talking about all the gamuts of services, but these are the components of the platform that enable you to do that. I think some of you might be interested in the technology, but just to show you what are the components of a typical smart city platform, including IoT, hosting, and cloud capability, data analytics, mobile application development, integrated operations center to allow you to deliver on the various dimensions of smart city services. So in addition to that, the smart city leverages the platform technology features that allow you to improve what used to be things like expensive databases to cheaper distributed data stores, going from inaccessible archives to live, real-time available data, going from slow processing to real-time analytics, going from mining the past to predicting the future as city, going from expensive on-premise custom hardware to cheaper standardized cloud hardware. So those are some of the benefits as well from the technology that we talk about, in addition to the time to market and the benefits from a service standpoint. We've seen this. There's some really good examples and really good benchmarks of the benefits of smart city across the world. And most of those are actually vertical implementation of smart cities. Now, if you think about, imagine the value multiplication factor when you deliver this as a platform and as a service. Done in a traditional sense, cities have done tremendous improvement in terms of energy and sustainability and others. Just think about the multiplication factor of value when you do that through a smart city platform and as a service. Additional technologies that might be coming soon that will be also enabling more, if you want, more features and more functions like digitization, automation, traceability, security, and scalability, moving from manual processes and error-prone human operations to more digitization, automation, and scalability. Those are artificial intelligence, blockchain, robotics, and so on and so forth. Those are some of the technologies that are coming up that would enable us to do this even more efficiently. As NeXgen, we've built basically this smart city platform to deliver smart city as a service to stakeholders, being government and being districts, real estate developers. And we're going to market with smart district as a service, smart utilities as a service, smart security as a service, and so on and so forth. And this platform is actually rolled out now across the 3 countries, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. It's up and running. We're starting to deliver services. We're going to go very aggressively into market in 2017. Basically, that's my discussion. I want to thank you for the time. We are basically here to answer more questions after. I know because we're short on time, Tony asked me to stay within 10 minutes for the presentation, so I did this fairly quickly. But we're basically enabling smart city as a service across the region with the capabilities that I mentioned earlier. So thank you for the time. Thank you, Tony.